so much for joining me. The maestro and the ustad, both the maestros, the sultans of strings, as I would say. How did this wonderful collaboration happen? Because prayers are what we actually need during that time. So when you both started to collaborate this, did you even anticipate the relevance it would have now? And it's to both of you.
It's a great honor and pleasure to collaborate with Maestro Joe Walsh. He's a king of rock and roll, and the world is aware about his contribution. But he's deeply involved with the Indian philosophy and Indian classical music. So we met in Bombay, and we exchanged our musical thoughts, and we thought we could work together something. And then we were in Los Angeles, and in his beautiful house in LA, they have a studio there. And their warm hospitality and his wife, Marjorie, I mean, the whole atmosphere inspired. And we were playing, and Amaan Ayaan played a very important role to bring us together and help. So these three pieces, what we have recorded, one is We Shall Overcome, I mean, Honge Kamyab.
Yeah.
And Healing Love. While recording, I started singing. I mean, that never happened before. And and Goddess is on Rag Hamsdani. So, it was very spontaneous. Nothing was written. There was no script. And we never, after recording, we did not know when to release the album, what to do with the album. And the editing took so long. And the credit goes to our, engineer also. And then year passed, and we were in pandemic, and I mean, this is our humble contribution towards, the frontline workers and the nurses, doctors. This proceeds will go to Intra Health, the organization. They are serving 27 countries of the world. And this is our first collaboration between rock and roll and Indian classical music.
And that's absolutely interesting. So, Mr. Joe Walsh, sir, I would like to ask you, I mean, as he said that you met in Mumbai as well as in LA, and when you collaborated, you had no idea what lay ahead of us and how this would become something so relevant for our times. So what was your experience like when both of you with very different repertoires came together?
Well, I guess I met Ayaan first. We weren't really aware of each other personally. We discovered that there was a similarities between guitar and Sarod. And that brought a lot of interest between us. I didn't know the depth of the musicianship between Amjad and his sons, but I was introduced to a whole new world of music that I had never attempted to even understand. And we were all very curious about playing together with everything that they knew and everything that I knew in Western music, and what would that be? So we pursued that. Now, this was just a discovery in life. We kind of stumbled across each other, as that happens in one's life, and you discover something that you're very curious about, and you explore it, and it turns into something that didn't exist turns into something real. And over a period of time, that happened to us. We got together and we talked a lot and we spent time together. And the more we did, the more comfortable we got with each other. And the more we discovered things we had in common. And all of that ended up in playing music together. And it just grew. It grew in strength. And it was a bond between us. So we ended up with some music that we made. And we had no plan really other than that. We didn't know what we were doing at first. All we knew is we liked being around each other, and whatever that was sounded really good. So why stop? And out of that came this relationship and this music that we made. And we didn't really have, well, let's make a record and put a record out. It just happened. And that's the best things. When things just happen like that, and you don't have a plan and you haven't invented it all before it even exists. So that's just part of life. And that part of life created this music, and we're now offering it for everyone to hear because we really like it. We're proud of it.
Absolutely, and you should be, rightly so. And let me ask Amaan and Ayaan, what was it like working with these two maestros together?
Firstly, hi Pooja.
Hi.
Thanks for having us on the show. It's an honor and a pleasure for Ayaan and me to be on a platform to start with, sharing the screen space right now, and also the project that we are a part of, to be with Maestro Amjad Khan and Maestro Joe Walsh. I mean, we went to LA not having in mind that we are going to be part of the project. We just went as two young musicians, as spectators, as big fans of both the maestros. And it's it's their greatness that they got us involved into the project. And I just wanted to watch them play. And the only thing that I learned from this whole project, this whole works together, is that these maestros just knew one language, one religion, which was called music. It was all about love. It was all about humility. It was all about giving more than receiving it to yourself. And I think I am lucky and that I'm born in an era which has made me witness the greats of Maestro Amjad Khan and Maestro Joe Walsh. And I feel so blessed that I'm a part of this project. And actually, I don't know even if I deserve to be here, but it's just a blessing that Ayaan and I'm here, and we've given our best. I hope the maestros like our work, and we're just accompanying them. That's all. We're just at the background. It's their project. It's
and
them.
I can see them smiling. It's like, oh. Ayaan, what do you have to say? Any nervy moments with the two of them? And
Well, the most nervy moment was at the start itself, but it was interesting because what did happen is that when I met Master Walsh in Mumbai, he wanted to own a Sarod. So when, we met and, I presented the Sarod, we ended up jamming and all of that, but that was a few years ago. And then we were on tour and we worked out dates and we reached LA to record. But we were coming from, Vancouver Island or something. So we landed up, but our instruments didn't make it in that flight. And all the artists and, the studio, everyone was waiting. So imagine
your clothes didn't make it either. They just showed up with no suitcases or nothing.
So that instrument came to the rescue, which was at Maestro Walsh's home.
wow.
So that Sarod makes a debut too in this EP. So it was a bumpy start, but I think everything just kind of fell in place in the coming sessions, and our instruments arrived, and then things just happened universally.
And I need to ask Maestro Walsh. I mean, I cannot have this interview without asking him the classic question. He's given us the classic anthems of all time. Hotel California, which, I mean, generations have grown up on that. What does it take to make a song an anthem, such a memorable time, a timeless melody? What does it take?
Well, my observation is if you can be around for an amount of time. Some people get famous for 15 minutes and you never hear from them again and they just fade away. But if you can get some longevity going, what happened to the Eagles was our fans grew up and had children. And they played our music while their children were growing up. And so our fans' children knew all our songs because of that. They had no choice. That's just what mom and dad played all the time. But we were still together. So they eventually came to hear us. And I think that's the secret to longevity. If you can break through to a different generation, the younger generation, so there you're good for 20 years. And those children grew up and had kids. So now our original fans are grandparents, but they're still coming. And their children are coming, and their children are starting to come. We have people coming that weren't even born when this music came out. And they're very curious because grandpa plays it all the time. So they're coming to hear us. And that's the stuff that legend is made out of. If you can break through to more people than just your generation. That's the secret. We didn't know that. That just happened. But it's kind of weird to look at the audience and see grandparents, you know, people, old people, and kids that are 10, all having a great time.
Absolutely. And that's it. I mean, it's the same applies for Ustad Saab's music as well. You know, grandparents, parents, and their children. But how, I mean, this is to the both of you and even to the young ones here. I mean, that's my generation. How have you adapted to this change? Because so used to performing in concerts and now you have streaming platforms. Where do you see it going now in the situation that we are all in? Music heals. You can hear music anywhere.
Is it for me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, to you and to Amaan, Ayaan, and to Mr. Walsh as well.
Yeah, you see, I am very fortunate that my father was such a famous, so much regarded and loved. And when I was 12 years old, people started inviting me in concerts. So Amjad Khan was created by the people of India. Every state, every region, they encouraged me, nurtured me. And the responsibility, what my father expected, I realized my responsibilities, because as you know, music has been in our family since many, many generations. Amaan and they are the 7th generation in our family playing the Sarod. And Sarod was created and invented, modified from our family. It's a Persian word. Sarod means music. So, I mean, it's more challenging for Amaan and Ayaan to, to deal with their own age group people. And fortunately, they are also, they have created their own world and people have encouraged and encouraging. So it's better if we hear from the young maestros.
True.
I think I like to add here that, Ayaan and I've been very lucky to be a part of a lot of projects, apart from doing classical music, accompanying a father and doing our own duets and our own solos in our own little humble way. And we got a lot of opportunities, Puja, to play with a lot of Western classical musicians. But inside me, I always wanted to accompany or be around a rock star, a super rock star like Maestro Joe Walsh, because these are the original rock stars. What we know about music, like the pop star culture.
Absolutely.
And I'm so overly excited that we're a part of this project, and it's really a God's blessing. And I'm really looking forward to open up a lot of more avenues for people like my brother and me, for sure, as young musicians.
And
We're already working on the sequel.
wow, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. And,
God willing, yes.
True. And last words, parting words, Mr. Maestro Walsh, before we go, what makes a rock star? What really makes a rock star?
That's a lovely question, by the way.
Well, I'm not sure. I think not losing sight of your purpose. When I was young, I used to party. We used to party because we were successful. So I know how to do that, but I didn't turn into that. And some people do, and the music goes away.
Yes.
To be able, we never dreamed that Hotel California would be as we never dreamed it would affect that many people on the planet when we made it. We just knew that we had made a song that was pretty good. So I don't know, it's just a chemistry of sticking to your purpose and staying humble and being somebody that everybody likes and gets used to and accepts. Because then you're family with them.
Absolutely.
And I'm very blessed in that my path took me down that road. And I don't really understand it. That's a question, I know the answer to that. I don't really. I'm just telling you, in my experience, those are the things that make it possible.
Thank you so much, the four of you. All the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've given us something really precious in these times. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.